What is up, guys, and welcome into another episode of the Ain't It Funky podcast. My guest today is Jayda Hansen. You probably have heard of Jayda from either Instagram, where she has a staggering 332,000 followers, or TikTok, where she has 203.8 thousand followers. Jayda covers popular metal songs, and with her killer playing and slick editing style, it's easy to see how she has racked up such a following. In our conversation, we spoke about her evolution from her mom teaching her drums when she was very young to posting and growing her social media channels, drumming in high heels, how she deals with negative comments on social media, her advice for people trying to grow their socials, and more. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe wherever you're listening. The video version is available on YouTube as well. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy. Jayda Hansen, welcome into the podcast.
Hi, thank you, Harry. Thank you for having me.
Jayda,
this is super exciting.
Thank you for taking the time, Jayda. Jayda, so kind of take me back to, because I heard it said in another podcast, you mentioned that I think your mom, like at the beginning of you drumming, your mom bought a drum set for your brother. Is that right? And then you kind of took to it after a while. Maybe tell me the story again.
Yeah, it was kind of funny actually, because my mom had gotten me a drum. So my mom actually got me a guitar. She got my brother a drum kit, and he was like 6 at the time. So he was like, he just wanted to play with his Thomas and Friends trains. He didn't really like care about it too much. And so my mom was like, oh, and I didn't like, I liked guitar, but at the time I wasn't into like metal. So I was playing like Taylor Swift, like country music like that. So I was like, like, you know, I'm playing it, but it's not like my thing. And then my mom was like, you know, being a female drummer would be pretty sick. You should totally try drumming. And I'm like, okay, I guess so. I guess I'll try. And then I just loved it. Like, I really enjoyed it. And then I asked my mom, I was like, can I try again? I want to try and learn a song. And then I just like did that whole thing. And I was like playing 21 Pilots songs at the time. And even crazier is like my mom technically taught me how to play the drums without ever picking up like a pair of sticks in her life. So that's something that it's like pretty cool. I'm pretty proud to say that, because my mom, she's like got this like talent with like knowing how to do stuff without like doing it. It's really funny. So she like watched videos online, and then she knew how to read sheet music, like music sheet music. And she just was like, she taught me how to do it, and then we would like study online drummers together and like figure out technique, and then that's kind of how I learned. So yeah.
That's fascinating. So yeah, so literally just from YouTubing stuff, she kind of figured out how to play a beat, and then I guess showed you, and you just analyzed stuff, and wow.
Yeah, she would help me like analyze it, because I was 11 at the time, and so she would like sit down with me, and she's like, you see their hand, like you should try like being a little more flowy and stuff. And she would like teach me she would help me like learn those types of things. So yeah, that's kind of how I learned the drums. It was pretty crazy.
Fascinating. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you say you were first into like playing Taylor Swift and 21 Pilots and stuff?
Yeah, like I liked music, and I think my favorite band was 21 Pilots, but like my parents had got me an acoustic guitar, so I was learning like country and stuff, because like, you know, this is a typical thing. It's easier to play. And then I was like, when I got into drumming, I first started playing like 21 Pilots, Bruno Mars, like stuff like that. It was very different, like more simple stuff, you know? Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. And then, so around what time did you start getting into like metal drumming and double bass drumming?
I was probably, I think like by the time I was like 12 years old was when I was like already drumming for a year. And then I like wanted a challenge, because 21 Pilots was starting to get a little, like some of their songs were starting to get easy for me. And then, you know, and Bruno Mars too, it was just pop songs, Charlie Puth, like all the super like basic beats. And then I was like, okay, I want to do a challenge. So I started scoping out drum covers. Then I came across like Toxicity, like by System of a Down, and My Chemical Romance, like Helena. And I was like, I want to learn that. that's harder. And that's how I kind of got into metal. Was just like, okay, I learned those songs. It took me like 2 months to learn Toxicity by System of a Down, but I did it. And then I was like, I came across Welcome to the Family by Avenged Sevenfold, Maytal Cohen's cover. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's really cool. And she was like my idol when I was younger. Like, I loved Maytal. I've probably watched every single one of her videos. And so I was like watching her, and then I came across that song, and I was like, I love this band. I want to see them live. I want to see the drummer live. And then, rest in peace, the Rev, he passed away. And when I found that out, I was so heartbroken. I was like, no way, my favorite drummer all of a sudden just like, what? But no, he was a legend. And then I just loved Avenged Sevenfold. And then that's like, just went into it. Yeah.
Nice. So basically you taught yourself to play just by learning songs and just by ear, I guess. Or
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's because obviously you started posting covers like super early. You were what age were you? 15?
I think I was 13 when I posted my first one, and it was Helena. Yeah, it was like 12 or 13, and then no, I was 12, I think, when I first posted my very first cover on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How like, I mean, you said like Toxicity took you a couple of months to learn.
Yeah.
It
was a level harder for me.
Yeah, but like how often would you say you were managing to pump stuff out, or well, even to rephrase the question, when you started posting more consistently, did you find that maybe you had to, was it more or less like you set yourself a goal of posting like a certain amount of covers a week, or yeah?
Yeah, so when I first started, I didn't, because I had learned a few songs already. Like I had like about a year and a bit worth of like practice. And so, I learned Helena, and that was like my very first drum cover. I vividly remember that. That was crazy. That was a long time ago. And then like Toxicity I had already learned. And so I just recorded what I could, and then I just posted it whenever. And then, as I got into it, it was like, okay, at least I want to post like once a month. And then it became like twice a month. And then, so I was just posting like every 2 weeks a drum cover. I would be able to learn a song in like 2 weeks. I was practicing a lot back then too. Like I was practicing like 6 hours a day. It's pretty crazy. So, yeah.
And so was practicing, was that was like learning the song parts, or were you also kind of doing, I don't know, did you get into rudiments at all at any point, or like technique stuff, or was it more like learning songs?
I avoided rudiments for the longest time. I mean, like, I did learn the rudiments, but after I was like, okay, I could do it at this speed, I'm fine. I don't need to do it anymore. And I, like, younger, I absolutely hated rudiments. It was super boring to me. Like, I love songs because I'm just, like, jamming out to the song and stuff, but, like, rudiments, I just was like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. I can't hear this click any longer. And then, like, I matured, and I was like, okay, rudiments are actually important. So I went back to practicing them and realized I really sucked at them, and I got better through that. But, for the most part, like, I learned my rudiments, and then I just, like, kept learning songs, and I just kept doing that until, I was like, okay, all signs are pointing to me having to learn them. I gotta mature, grow up, Jayda. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So when you kind of ran into obstacles, maybe with like double bass speed or something, like, was that a matter of you then slowing stuff down, or did you find you had to go, oh wait, maybe this certain fill has like fast diddles in it or something, and then you kind of took a rudiment, and or like, how did you kind of overcome that obstacle of learning a part that maybe you couldn't quite technically do?
Like, the way I had always learned was just slowing down the song, and just like it was kind of interesting the way I kind of became to learn songs. Like, I first started learning off of sheet music, and so I would just practice the groove until I got it down pretty good. Sometimes I'd even play with the metronome just to get the speed up, and then I would apply that to the song. And then I stopped learning from sheet music. I always had to pay for it, and I was like, no need. And so then I was like, I started watching drum covers, and I would like copy the person doing the cover. So I'd watch them and I'd copy it, and like I'd slow down the song, like I'd put it on YouTube at like 0.5 speed, and then I would just do it slowly and build the speed up that way. And then maybe when I was like 14, I just started learning by ear. I just was like, and maybe once in a while I used to like look at a cover and stuff. If I couldn't figure it out by ear, I couldn't distinguish it, I watch somebody else do it, or the drummer. I would look for the drum cams that they'd have live. Like those are such a gold mine. Yeah. So yeah, I would like do that.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's amazing with, as you say, with YouTube, how you can just kind of emulate what someone's doing, whether that is the actual drummer playing the song with a drum cam, or whether that's like a cover. Yeah, I guess that's definitely a godsend for actually learning stuff by ear and figuring out parts.
Yeah, or even like learning the drummer's technique and stuff. Like it's really cool to see like certain things they do. You're just like, whoa, that's so different, or like even the way they have their kit placed is really cool. And then now, like after I learned rudiments and I got in, like I actually learned them properly, now I like distinguish rudiments, and I'm able to like listen to like a Sleep Token song, for example, and realize, oh, he's using paradiddles to get into that groove. That's cool, and that's, so growth.
Two is so freaking good. It's actually unbelievable. It's like,
it's crazy.
Every single thing he does just completely blows my mind.
Yeah, and it's not even like crazy, like it's not like super fast, like blast beats all the time that you're just like blah. Like it's the amount of creativity and like articulate playing that he does that it just makes it so different, unique, and creative. So yeah, it's probably one of my favorite drummers for that reason.
So good.
I have a lot of favorite drummers, but
have you seen Sleep Token? I assume you have.
I haven't.
No. Okay.
When I went to go buy their tickets for their new thing, I wanted to look into it. I really wanted to get tickets. They were sold out. Like I think they sold out in the first like 2 days after releasing it. I was like, bro, what the heck? So yeah.
But yeah, they're so good live. I can prepare you for it already. I'm sure you'll see them live at some point. But they are like, honestly, I like personally, I've never gotten that much into like their full albums. But like I feel like there are songs, like there are a bunch of songs on albums where I'm like, this is a banger. But I don't know. There's something about like the weaving in between. I know that obviously the weaving in between the heavy riffs and then the kind of ambient stuff, the long ambient stuff, that creates color and character. But for me, I don't know what it is. This is why I love a band like Meshuggah, because it's just like the whole time it's just like 100% in your face, just complete mayhem. But with Sleep Token, I love the heavier stuff, the heavier riffs. But when it goes into the too long ambient parts, I'm like, come on, I want a little bit of, I want a little bit of action.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. For me, like, I love, like, all kinds of genres of music. Like, I used to be like, I hate country. I don't like country. Country's boring. And now I like country. Like, certain types of country. I love all kinds of music. I think I've just grown to, like, really appreciate, like, any art, like, when it comes to music. And then with Sleep Token, I'm also like, deep down, I'm also like an emo kid, right? So I love the super sappy, like, sometimes I'm crying, sometimes I'm really happy, sometimes we're like singing about how happy I am in love, sometimes I'm like absolutely crushed, heartbroken, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like with Sleep Token, I love that dynamic. And like, I also like the complex grooves that he's got going, Jaws and like that, and all those songs. But then I also love like Meshuggah. Like, I was determined to learn Bleed and songs like that. And I love that kind of stuff. Tool, crazy drums. I love Avenged Sevenfold. Like their drums are always all over the place. Like it's just super cool. I like, you know what it is? I'm like borderline ADHD. I like ADHD songs. So, which
Same.
is why I think Sleep Token is great for me. Like I just like songs that are all over the place sometimes. So yeah.
Fair, yeah. But yeah, I think the thing is, even I would say to someone who's not even a Sleep Token fan, I'd be like, go see them live, because it's like a whole other like monster live. Even if you don't like the music, like even if you genuinely don't like the music, I think if you go see them and you appreciate live music, you'll be like, oh my god, this band live is so tight. The lighting, the energy from all of them on the
Yeah.
stage, like Vessel's vocals live are just like, how does he jump around? And like he must, I don't know, he must like jog a lot and do, have a lot of have really good cardio, because he's just like
Yeah.
he's jumping around the stage the whole time, and then he's like nailing these perfect, like, the melismas, the little like runs he does, and you're just like,
Really? Oh
how is
my
he like?
gosh.
It's like nailing this like on the record. I'm like, how? And it's sometimes it's even better than the record. I'm like, how is this even like possible with
Somehow you
that?
made me 10 times more excited to go see them live next like
Honestly,
tour.
go whatever you do, even if you have to travel, go see them. They're so good. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but yeah,
Noted.
yeah.
That's really cool. Just recently I saw Papa Roach live and
Yes,
Rise
I saw that.
Against
Yeah, yeah.
and Under Oath, and they were really good bands. I like I've loved like all three of those bands. Like I've listened to them like, in general. I listened to Rise Against and Papa Roach growing up for sure. And when I tell you, even then I was still like taken aback by like the show, like especially Papa Roach. Like their show just hits you on an emotional level too. It was so amazing. They're like such wholesome people, like not even biased. Like they're just, it was so cool to see that show. And I love bands like that who like literally put like their all into each of their shows. Like that's a lot to do. So I really respect bands like that. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
I can imagine Papa Roach is badass live. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you
So
random question? But what we're talking about gigs, like what would you say are some of the like best gigs you've ever been to? What have been your favorites?
I'll be honest, I haven't played many live shows for a few reasons. But like the ones that I have played, I played with it was my very first live show. Was a show with an artist, her name's Baby Chaos, and we did it together. And me and the guitarist, wait, no, I think he was actually the bassist. He plays guitar, but I think he played bass that time. Me and him were like the sound guys there because she didn't have a sound guy. It was really funny. So we were like figuring out how to do like the instrumentals and the balancing between the two, the monitoring system she rented out. It was crazy. And I don't know, it was all of our first show pretty much, other than the guitarist Spencer. And we were just like really scattered. Like it was unorganized and it was good, but like songs were clipping out and like metronome failed and like all of those things. Our guitarist Spencer, he didn't even have music playing, and we didn't even know that. So he was like always looking back at me, and I'm like about to hit the note after her super long pause. We're like, just to let him know when he's gonna start. It was crazy, but it was fun. That was fun. It was definitely something to remember. And then I've played drums for pop punk emo night for like months, and those turned out like those were always so fun to do. And it was a bunch of pop punk songs, and like emo songs and stuff like that. And that those like as I did it, it got better. Like organization with BJ. He was like the one who was like DJing the stuff. It was interesting. Pop punk emo night. They had such a cool, interesting gimmick where they would like it was like a DJ thing. So they would play the actual song, but then they would have a vocalist and a drummer like create a show for the people watching, and it was like this cool party thing. So I did that for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah.
When was that? Like how long ago was that?
Uh, a year and a bit ago, 2 years ago, maybe. Um, yeah, it was 2 years ago actually, and then I think I played one more like a few months ago. I played another one like a few months ago, but
Right.
my personal life got pretty crazy, so I
Okay.
stopped. So it was sad to stop. They're all such great people too. I think that's like also such an awesome part is like, when you're in a band or you're working with people who are like also like just genuinely good people who are there for a good time, who are serious. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is gigging something that you kind of would like to do more of in the future? Are you kind of looking to go out and play more, or
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah. I would love to like be in a band and like gig and do stuff like that. Um, I'm here in America. Like I'm actually Canadian. I'm here in America under a visa, and I have restrictions to leave the country. I can't really leave the country on a specific
Oh,
visa, so I can't tour like properly. And so I've had like opportunities to be in such sick bands with such sick people, but like I just I can't right now. So I'm like working towards like fixing that up, like getting a different visa that actually I'm allowed to travel and do that. But yeah, I would definitely love to be in a band and like gig and do stuff like that in the future. I think that would be so awesome.
yeah. So you can't even go back to Canada?
No, technically not, or else then the visa
Wow.
like resets. So I just like, yeah. So I would
Geez,
have to
yeah.
like reapply, and I would have to be in Canada for 6 months, come back, reapply to get it. It's like really complicated. So I'm trying to like I'm working actually right now. I'm working towards a visa that will allow me to travel, and there's no restriction like that,
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah,
Okay. So I guess when you vacation, you just vacation within the US. You just go to
yeah,
other states.
pretty
Okay.
much. Last vacation I went was to Texas. Actually, I went to Dallas,
Nice.
Texas.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
hmm It
Yeah.
was really nice there, and I kind of missed like the brief like cold weather. Like Texas gets way colder than it does in Florida during the winter. So it felt like Christmas without snow still, which was still weird, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you get used to the like insane humidity in Florida? Is that something you get used to when you live there, or is it just
No.
always a pain? No. Yeah.
No, it is so hot out here. Like during the
Yeah.
summer, it's actually finally cooling down, which is like thank goodness, but it's been so hot, suffocating.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Florida is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love it here. Like I genuinely love Florida. Like it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. Sunsets just hit different and like the I do like the weather. I do. Like I kind of got sick of snow from being in Canada, but like um I love Florida. It's just the humidity. It gets like super hot out here, which
Yeah.
is great for beach days. So, I'm not complaining. Don't
Yeah.
take it as complaining.
Do you live close to a beach?
No.
No. Okay.
I live like in central Florida, so I'm about like an hour and a half to the closest beach.
Okay.
Um,
Is it Gainesville
yeah,
where you are? Gainesville?
yeah,
Is that
like
right?
that area, yeah.
Okay.
Um, and so it's like kind of in the center of everything. So yeah,
Okay. But yeah, yeah, no, Florida is a lovely state though. Yeah,
hmm
very
yeah,
very beautiful state.
it's
Um,
beautiful.
but yeah, coming back to the drumming. So like with your content, I know obviously obviously your mom's always been a big supporter. Does she help you with like the editing and mixing, or is that just all been you? Do you wear all the hats, so to speak?
She used to help me. She used to help me. She like did a lot of research and she was already familiar with like Logic Pro X and stuff. And so she helped me do that. She helped me like place microphones because at the time so I started off on an electronic kit. I had a really small like Roland electronic kit, and then a year in, I got an acoustic kit, and I was super hyped about that. But the microphones and dealing with that stuff is like really crazy,
Mm,
especially at like 12 years old. So I did it with my mom. She helped me out like a lot, and then over the years, like yeah, I just ended up like doing it, like taking over it and stuff. And sometimes she
okay.
still likes like she genuinely likes editing my videos. Like she loves like adding the effects too. Sometimes like I'll do it, but like she also loves doing it. Like it's just her thing. I don't know. She loves that kind of stuff. She's super
Yeah.
artsy, so she like draws, she paints, she loves editing videos. She like, you know, yeah. So Yeah,
Nice.
she's really awesome. She's
Yeah.
really, really awesome.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like you have an amazing mom who's, just kind of always supported and helped you through,
Yeah, yeah.
creating your
I'm really lucky to
content,
have her.
supporting
She's
you.
really
Like
amazing.
that's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But then so with like the video editing, is what software are you using for video editing?
So to edit the audio for my drums, I use Logic Pro X, and then for the video, I usually mostly use CapCut. But then I recently got like some plugins for Final Cut Pro, so that's cool too. And so I use sometimes CapCut, sometimes I use Final Cut Pro. Um, Both are like really cool. So yeah,
Hmm.
either one
Okay.
of those. CapCut's free, or at least
Okay.
really cheap, so it's a good option like for people getting into that. And even like if you're a pro, like I do it. I know other musicians who use CapCut too. It's really cool.
Yeah,
So
I just use it for the captions. Like the captions are just super clean.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
But
yeah.
then, so have you ever taken like a course on editing, or has it just been a thing of like natural evolution, kind of learning by doing and figuring
YouTube.
stuff out? Okay.
YouTube's your best friend with everything, I swear.
Yeah.
So yeah, we learned off of YouTube. Um, Editing the videos, like sometimes I watch other people and like, oh, like maybe even like on TikTok, like even if it's not even music related, but like seeing people how they edit like their transitions or videos, like sometimes they'll have cool effects, and I apply, like I just go onto CapCut and I browse and I try like different things until it like looks good, in my opinion.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And is there any like particular content creators or other drummers that you've kind of seen where you've taken inspiration with your editing style? Like anybody that comes to mind?
Um, Nothing specific. I think I found the plugin for Final Cut Pro to edit videos, later on from Blaine. He's a drummer and he also does covers, and he's like really talented too. He's really cool. And I think I remember him posting on his stories, something like that. And so I got the idea for the plugin through him. Because I was just doing it on CapCut before, and CapCut's really good, but like I record, I also record all my videos on my iPhone. So
Right.
I'll just record it on my phone, and then I used to put it into CapCut, and I would add so many effects, and I would like record in cinematic, so the file was super big that CapCut would start struggling, like it would start lagging a little bit. So I was like, maybe if I could do like most of it in like a different place, like Final Cut Pro, it would make my life a little bit easier. And so then I came across this thing. I was like, no way. Okay, let me try that. And so I did, and it like helps a lot. And so yeah, that's how I got into
Okay.
doing on Final Cut.
And with like the mixing, do you have like a mixing template set up so you can literally just kind of drag and drop stuff, or is it always kind of a, I don't know, do you have to go through the process every time?
Well, for drumming, I I would have an idea. Like I would take pictures of my settings so that I could always revert back to them. For an acoustic kit, for electronic kit, like the Roland samples are really good. Like sometimes I would add like EQ and stuff like that. And then I now I have samples from Drumforge and Mixwave. They sent me, basically I had the samples from the drummer from 3 Days Grace. I have his drum samples, which are like amazing. And then I have Sleep Tokens drum samples, which are also really amazing. So I sometimes, depending on the song and the sound, like I'll just like switch it on my drum kit. I kind of import it into my drum kit so I can just like, and then like, if it's more proggy sounding song, I'll use Sleep Token, it's like super punchy but like kind of delicate sounding. And then like for like heavier songs like Lamb of God or like rockish songs, I'll use like 3 Days Grace, and I'll just like switch between the two. And so for that, I don't really have to add effects. It all sounds like really awesome. So it saved me a lot of time that way, and it sounds amazing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because the drums like on your videos from the E kit, because I mean, I don't know, I've not to diss E kits, but like, sometimes you get on an E kit and you're like, especially with the stock
Yeah.
sounds, you kind of struggle to really get like a good,
Mm-hmm.
sound on all the cymbals, and I feel like it's especially the cymbals that I've kind of struggled with in the past.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. 100%.
yeah.
I I noticed that. Like I also didn't like the cymbals as much. And so when I got the Sleep Token samples, I got like a fresh set of like really awesome cymbals. And so I was like, that's awesome. So I use them like a lot. I like the cymbal
Yeah.
samples. Um, so yeah, it was really cool. And with like Roland, it was like they're good. Like I used to use, I think it was the Loud Rock one. It was good, but it wasn't the best. And so now I got like samples, and they are honestly a game changer, like when it comes to sound, especially if you're like recording your own drums for like your own song. Samples are a game changer and make your life a lot easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it certainly seems like it. Like from, yeah, as I say, watching your videos, it's like the drums sound great, and
Yeah,
yeah, the sample packs seem badass. So
they
yeah,
are. They're very badass.
yeah. And also, like remembered watching a couple of your videos where you're drumming in heels. Is that like playing double bass in heels? Is that difficult, or does it how does
um
that feel?
that's funny. Like I just, it was really funny how I got into that. First of all, like my mom suggested it actually, because I just came back from going out and I always wear heels. So my mom was like, you know what would be so cool? I'm like, what? She's like, if you were to, just drum in your heels. Because I was like changing my shoes at the time, and I'm like, that's crazy. I want to do it though. Challenge accepted. And she's like, I dare you to do it. I'm like, challenge accepted. And so I did it and I recorded it. And I mean, I practiced double kick like crazy. Once I got an acoustic kit with my double pedals, I practiced it like crazy. So I would say I was like pretty strong already. I had pretty strong calf muscles. It's kind of funny. Like everybody would notice that. It's just like, your calves are so strong. Like I know. And then so when I went to heels, I was like, it wasn't like crazy. It was different. It was a different technique for sure. But I mean, it wasn't like too out of the norm for me because I wear heels all the time and I also drum all the time. So then I did it and everybody freaked out over it. Like everybody loved it. And so it's kind of become my thing. I'm like, okay, let me embrace it. Let me embrace the feminine, like wearing heels, like all that thing. I'm like, I'll embrace it. I wear it anyways. Like, I don't know why I'm always changing to like socks or shoes all the time, you know? I mean, I still wear socks or shoes, like if it's like a really, 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 really complicated song that's like super fast and intricate and like I'm using a lot of swivel. But like, yeah. So I just wear heels, and it wasn't too hard in the beginning, and now it's kind of like second nature because I do it all the time now. So
Sick.
yeah.
It's very very sick, very impressive. Yeah, 'cause, I mean the comments are funny because you go in the comments and it's like in heels is crazy. Like every second comment
Yeah.
in like capital letters.
Yeah. I've always had like people like say that about my drumming. It's like they'll, I vividly remember one comment on my YouTube. I was playing Laid to Rest by Lamb of God.
So good.
But I was
So
like, it's such a good song. And I was like 14 or 15, and I was wearing this like cute like red top. It's like off the shoulder or whatever. And I'm like, got my hair down. I'm like smiling while I'm playing. It's like, Laid to Rest playing, but I'm like, like super like fun. And I'm like 15 years old, and everybody's like, the music, and it'll be like chains and like skulls and black and whatever, like emojis, and then it'll be like her, and it's like flowers and like smiles and bow ties, just the way I am. And I've always like kind of embraced that, I guess. It's just I actually don't dress like much of a metalhead, but I very much am. So
yeah, yeah. But
people
that's
always
obviously
say that.
one of your posts is also like, you know, where you kind of said the image of a metalhead is not necessarily always the, I don't know, what people maybe would perceive it to be,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, that's my
And
life.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So with your creative process, how do you go about like choosing songs? Is it just what you're feeling in the moment, or is it kind of you maybe focus on also kind of what's trending or what could do well, or is it just all kind of like what you're feeling?
Um, I definitely like to. I do like take suggestions for songs, and again, I'm also very open minded with music. So like, I will take any song, like and I'll make it like my style kind of thing. And so I did that with Eminem. Everybody loved that one. It was like Godzilla
Yes.
and Rap God.
Yeah.
I like covered those two, and I made it like metal drums, and everybody loved that. And I also like had fun doing that. Like that was really fun for me. I love doing that kind of stuff. And yeah, I really have to be like feeling a song to be able to be creative and do that kind of thing. Um, and again, so like when people make a suggestion, they're like, oh, you should do like this song. Like I'm very open minded, and like sometimes like literally a sick song. I'm like, yeah, I will for sure do that. Like that's so sick, such a good idea. Sometimes it's also a song that I came across that I'm like, I love that song. Um, I don't really do many things just for the trend. Like I don't really do that kind of thing. And so, but like I will technically sometimes jump on a trend because I actually like it. Like when 21 Pilots released Drum Show, I was like, I have to cover that. I have to do that, or whatever it is. It'll just be always on my feet. I'm like, I got to do that. So it's like unintentional, but sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Do you look into your like analytics at all and then kind of go off that and yeah?
Yeah, like I originally started music just to like document my progress, like posting my music. I did it just to document my progress, and I kind of started getting big that way. And then now it's like, yeah, it's cool to look at the analytics sometimes, and you notice what songs people enjoy and what others don't. I notice people really like my Slipknot and Lamb of God songs. But even though they do, I don't always cover them. And so, yeah, like I notice people like have favorites, which is cool. It's cool to look into that kind of stuff, but I don't like judge every decision off of that. That makes sense.
Right.
Sometimes I'll cover songs that aren't as popular, and it doesn't necessarily like blow up as much as others do. But I mean, I had fun learning it, and it was a sick song to me. Some people really like it. Not everybody did, and it was fine. It's fine to me. So yeah.
Yeah, there's always going to be people that like stuff and people that don't like stuff, or I guess negative comments unfortunately is a thing on social media. But how do you kind of cope with negative comments? Does it ever affect you, or are you just like
I actually have this thing where I troll them publicly. Like I will take their comment, or maybe they'll send me a message and I post it to my story, and I leave some kind of comeback to it that's like really funny, and I try not to like necessarily insult them. But like I'll just like, I don't know, leave some kind of like comment or a roast or something like that. People get such a kick out of that. Like people laugh so hard, and I'm like just that type of person. Like I don't take it seriously. I think the other day, somebody like in my comments like was like, "Oh, you're playing off time. You actually missed a note. Did you know that? You're fake." And I'm like, "Nuh-uh, I am not." And so I slow down the video and I like put it in sync, because they actually posted a video and it was like completely a beat off sync. So like when I end like a beat with hitting the crash cymbal and the kick, it like was like the song was like before that. So like the the song was later on. So like you heard the note, but I had already hit it. Does that make sense? So they're like, "Oh, you missed the note." I'm like, "No," and I actually like slowed it down and stuff like that. And I'm willing to like show that, I'm like, I hit it. I record all my stuff live. Like I am not a fake. I'm not fake. I promise. And then when it's just like straight up hate comments, I just make fun of them.
Yeah, good. Love that. So satisfying. That's the best possible answer you could give. Just
I take inspiration from Wendy's.
From Wendy's?
Yeah, the fast food joint. Like their Wendy's Twitter. Like I take inspiration. I'm like, do that.
What, do they roast hate comments?
Oh yeah, that was like trending like years ago. It was just like, people were like, "Oh, McDonald's are better than Wendy's," and then Wendy's would like tweet back and be like, I don't know, some kind of roast, and everybody like got a kick out of that. And I think that like, I don't know, I heard that it like that year they had like, it was like 30 or 40% extra profit from that. I don't know, just because of the marketing. It was like crazy. So I was like, that's so funny.
Love
Yeah.
that. That's amazing. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna do that now. I'm like, I gotta do that because that's like literally me. I'm like, that's like literally the type of person I am. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know Craig Reynolds from Straight from the Path?
I don't think so.
Do you know
I don't know a lot of people by name.
Do you know the Downbeat podcast? Do you know of that? He's like a metal drummer. He's like really funny British guy. Like his banter is amazing. He does the same thing, but he'll take someone's comment and then he'll like film a video of like in his story. There'll be like 5-6 clips of him kind of roasting that comment.
No
and
way.
like just fighting back on YouTube or like, and he's sharing it, and it's just
That's
like
so funny.
It's the most entertaining thing because he's British. He has like that British banter and that really dry witty banter, and it's just it's so amazing. He's amazing. Craig Reynolds, I can highly recommend.
I'm gonna like look into him. I'm gonna remember that because that's funny.
Also, great band, Stray from the Path. Unfortunately, they just broke up. I think they've just ended like their last tour. But
that's so sad when that happens.
They are. I can highly recommend. Great
Okay.
band. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of really good double bass parts in there.
I gotta listen to that. I would definitely will. But yeah, it was like my only inspo was like Wendy's at the time, and I was like, I don't know, I like love that kind of stuff. I think it's so funny, so I just do it. But yeah, I realized I don't know like a lot of people by name. It's kind of funny. I'm very bad at remembering names, so like unless I read it like 3 times, I don't remember it.
Hey, fair enough. I mean, you do have like 300 something thousand followers, so you know, you've got all these names constantly like bombarding you with comments and follows that I'm sure it's tough to remember who's who.
I just have a very terrible memory with that. I have good memory with like learning music or like even numbers. Like I'm very good at remembering numbers, but names, I don't know what it is. I just no. So yeah.
I feel like I have a similar thing where like people will say to me, "Do you know this drummer?" And I'll be like, "I don't think I've heard of this person." And then I'll be like, "What's their name?" And I'll go on Instagram, and I already follow them.
Yeah. I've done that way too many times.
I follow them, but I couldn't even tell you their name.
I've done that a lot. I've done that a lot, and I'm not proud of it. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
You just follow all the drummers. There's so many drummers that you're just you can't keep track of all of them, and
so many talented drummers. So many talented drummers.
So much inspiration. But yeah. So what Jayda, what does a kind of average daily routine look like for you? How much of the time is spent, practicing and playing drums? How much of the time is spent, like, what other hobbies do you have? What's the routine like for you?
A day in my life is usually like all over the place, honestly. But if I'm not out like running errands or something like that, I'll usually just wake up. I'm studying for accounting. And so I'll usually wake up, study, and then like, if I'm like totally free that day, I'll like, after studying, which I'll take a few hours studying, I'll practice, I'll drum. I also tend to help my parents help my parents out at their restaurant. They own a restaurant. Nice. And so sometimes I'll help them out. And then like it's just a lot of studying for the most part right now. Just working on that, Okay.
So you want to become an accountant as a main career? Is that right?
Yeah, that's like my real job. I mean, of course, I would love to make money like doing music and like pursuing that as my passion, right? Like, because it's my favorite thing ever. But that's like my day job. I like to like call it like bookkeeper, accountant by day, drummer by night thing. It's like that's my duo there. So yeah, that's kind of.
Are you already making a little bit of a living off the content? Do you not get paid for that?
No, I don't get monetized for anything. Okay. So like,
is that because you're covering other people's stuff?
Yeah, copyright strike.
Okay,
it's my best friend. Every single cover. I'm like, bruh.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have a Patreon page as well, right?
Yeah, I don't really want to do Patreon right now.
Okay,
I'm just focusing on my studying. I got to get that done.
fair,
And
fair.
then a lot of people buy me a coffee. So, yeah. It's great. That's just about it. Um, but yeah, just right now I'm working on studying and doing that because the sooner I get it done, the better.
Yeah,
The better. And so, yeah.
yeah. Okay. What kind of out of curiosity, what kind of restaurant do your parents have?
A sushi restaurant.
Nice. Okay.
It's very random. I know. It's very random, but
Okay.
stars just aligned that way. And so we ended up with a sushi restaurant, and my dad learned how to roll sushi. And then, I mean, me and my mom like sushi, but like, we never really ate sushi before that. And then we started eating sushi to make sure our quality was good. And then we started all liking sushi. It was kind of
Nice.
funny. So, yeah, we own a sushi restaurant
Okay.
now.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. And so to kind of because I usually on this podcast I'm very nerdy. I love talking about rudiments.
Hmm.
We kind of touched on rudiments before, but is rudiments? Well, actually, first of all, what was back in the day when you did learn your rudiments originally? Was that also just through YouTube, or did you use any other kind of books or
YouTube,
YouTube?
Dremio
Yeah.
helps me out
Okay.
a ton.
Yeah.
And so I just learned my rudiments on YouTube and stuff like that. And then, yeah, I just would practice with the metronome after that until I got as fast as I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of rudiments were you doing? Was it kind of across the board?
I
Uh,
learned all 40.
all 40.
I
Nice.
learned all 40 and I got pretty fast with all 40. And then I just really focused on singles, doubles, paradiddles. I had like an exercise that I would do. It was just like, 4 beats singles, 4 beats doubles, 4 beats paradiddles, and I just repeated that endlessly. And then I eventually incorporated like flams and flam diddles. Um,
Nice.
Flam diddles are like were pretty hard for me to do, and so I was like, okay, it's a challenge. I like challenges. I like complicated things. So when something's easy and boring, I dropped that like so quickly. That's why I didn't learn rudiments for the longest time.
Right.
But so then I started doing like I like hybrid like rudiments.
Yeah.
And so I would like Google like some like challenging hybrid rudiments, and I would do those too. So yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And I still practice them sometimes, like rudiments, like I do. I mean, I don't have to. I feel like I don't practice them every day anymore. Although I feel like truly, the more you practice them, the better you are. So I think rudiments are such a like key thing. Oh, I also did rudiments on the double kick.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Makes
that's what
sense.
I did to like get super efficient and pretty independent. Like my left foot is pretty independent, which I was pretty like. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Because like I always hear that so hard. It was so hard for me to get out of the dependency of the right and the left.
Yeah.
So that's what I did to get over that.
Okay.
So rudiments, mostly singles, doubles, paradiddles were like my thing. Oh, and I also always loved Radamikyu. I don't know why.
Okay.
It was just my thing. I just liked it. I just liked
Sweet.
it. I just picked a rudiment. I'm like, this is my favorite. It's the Radamikyu. I don't know why. So yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, it's. I love the attitude of like, something has to be challenging because you have that ambition to kind of break through that wall
Yeah.
and just,
Yeah.
um,
I don't
and
like boring
that's
things.
yeah, that's where the growth comes from. Is
Mhm.
doing the harder stuff and the, maybe in the moment the more
Yeah.
challenging stuff, but the stuff that once you break through it, it's just like,
Yeah.
it really helps you progress.
That's how I got into metal. Like when I was first starting, I literally heard Toxicity, and it was way out of my range at the time. Like I was only doing like Charlie Puth songs, so I heard
Right.
that. I was like, I'm not stopping till I learn Toxicity because it's cool. It was impressive to me, so I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta learn it. I have to. This is fun. This is challenging. It's gonna be really hard. So I like practiced every day until I did it, and then I was like, look what I did. It's like Toxicity. I was so proud. Like,
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a badass drum song. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
quintessential metal drum song. You kind of
Yeah. It was also
look
my
for it.
first 6/8 song. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
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 So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
What are other kind of songs that maybe proved really, that you picked and you started doing, and then maybe proved really challenging to kind of to learn in, a week or two? Are there any others that come to mind that were like a real obstacle for you?
Um, I don't know. I feel like that was like easily 70% of every song I've ever learned was always like I always went for something harder unless I just genuinely liked the song, even if it was a little bit easier for me. But I always tried to go for harder. So for me it was like Toxicity was really hard for me, and then Nightmare was really hard for me. At the moment, I think the hardest song I've learned was either Bleed by Meshuggah or Alkaline. Turned out to be way
Okay.
more complicated.
Yeah.
By Sleep Token. Alkaline by Sleep Token was really hard for me at the time. It took me a minute to like do the rudiments around the kit, like clean, like the way he does. Like I did practice that, but not as much as I realized I should have. So I started doing that.
Right.
And so Alkaline turned out to be harder than I thought it was. August Burns Red is always like harder to like, at least at the time, like they were harder to learn for me, and so it was challenging too. So Carol of the Bells by August Burns Red, I was like 15 or 16, and that was also really like that leveled me up. I like take it as like level ups in a video game. It's like that leveled me up. Like I could play that song. I now have a new library of songs I could play. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah.
like, did that with Sleep Token too. I did that with Alkaline. I'm like, whoa, I can like incorporate like rudiments into a song as complicated as Sleep Token now, and I can learn that. Cool. New like thing, I did
Mm.
Bleed by Meshuggah now, and I did like these complicated songs and stuff. I want to do another Meshuggah song, and it's gonna be really hard. Oh,
Hell yeah.
Tesseract too. That
Yes. Oh my God. J-Paul Stones. My God. What a
he's
drummer.
insane. He's
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so he's probably one of my favorite drummers. And I also really like the way he teaches drums. Like uh, I think the song was Nocturne.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that song was really like hard for me to learn at the time. It was like a different, like it was I'm blanking out on the name, polyrhythms, right?
Hmm.
Or polymeters or whatever you call it. And it was just like really different. It was something I've never done before other than Bleed, which I can I can differentiate my feet from my hands. Like I can do that, but to do like my hands like different beats and measures and stuff like that is crazy. That was crazy for me. So I did that.
Yeah.
And it took me a while. It took me like it took me a while for like what I like for me, I can learn a song in like a day or two if I practice it like a lot. Um for Nocturne, that probably took me a week and a bit. I had to
Okay.
go really slow, and I built up very slowly. So that was
Right.
cool. Yeah. So I would say those
Okay.
songs.
Yeah. Yeah. My God. J-Paul Stones is just like
Yeah.
everything the guy does is just flawless. It's just
Yeah.
like I saw him at the UK drum show last year. He was on the main
Oh,
stage, obviously, and like it was just like he was like 10 meters in front of me,
no
and
way.
I was just sitting there. I was like, oh my God, dude! Like what? He's so good. It
Yeah,
was
that's
yeah,
crazy. Yeah, he's insane. He's so insane. He's so
yeah,
insanely good. Yeah.
yeah. Who are some other drummers that like currently inspire you that they're kind of your favorite drummers at the moment?
I have a lot for a lot of different reasons. Like again, like I will like hear something and like I'll really like it, even if it's just very different. Like I love Lamb of God. Like Art Cruz, he's crazy. I don't even know if I pronounced his last name right. I really hope I did.
Hmm.
Art Cruz is really good. And he's all over the place on the drum kit in such a like sick way. Like you hear it, you're like, whoa, that's like a puzzle that was pieced together perfectly. Um, and he's just like insanely fast. Like he's just insane. Um, I also watched Lorna Shore's drummer. I'm blanking out on his name. He's also a crazy drummer when it comes to speed. I was watching like his double kick on, I think it was, what is that song name? To the Hellfire? I think that's what it was. And like, I don't know if that's humanely possible to do, but he doesn't use like it's not fake. Like it's legit. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Of course, Joey Jordison is just classic. Such a classic. Um, the Rev also like influenced a lot of my drumming. I liked how he like influenced like a hip hoppy feel into his drums too, like along with the metal that Avenged Sevenfold would play. And he was very creative. Like the way he played certain things on the kit was so unique. So I love like Critical Acclaim or Almost Easy, like that ride bell, the like that ride bell drum roll, amazing. Like it's so good. And then Sleep Token too, he's incredible. Like don't even need to explain myself there. He's great. Jay Postones also incredible. I don't know. I pick a favorite from like every band. Honestly, they all are so unique in their same way, in their like own way. So
So many good drummers. Yeah.
yeah.
So Jayda, as being someone who's like broken through on social media, had a lot of success, a lot of followers, what would your personal kind of advice be to somebody, maybe other musicians, other drummers who are trying to make content, trying to grow their following? Like, what would your advice be for people?
Honestly, I think definitely like don't take it as like I need to get as many followers as possible, because especially in the beginning you're going to get demotivated very quickly. It's not about followers, but it's about building a reputation and like a portfolio. Social media is amazing for that. Building a portfolio so that when you do have the opportunity to join a band or sign to a record label or something, like people are looking at you and they're like, oh wow, like look at this history of like stuff you've done. Social media is like the best thing for that. And then also like being authentic, I think, is my other favorite thing. I'm very authentic. Like I just try to be who I am. I play the songs I want to play at the end of the day. I do my own thing. Like I'll get comments. People ask me to do certain, like do things, I've been asked to drum barefoot before. Just for the foot fetish. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Like I could get a lot of views that way, but I'm not gonna do that. That's weird. I'm not gonna do that. But like, you know, things like that. Like if you're just going to try to get as many views as possible, you're selling your soul that way, and I'm not for that. And so I think being authentic, treating it more as a portfolio than just to get famous. And and if you do get hate for like a certain thing, if you play a song by a band that not everybody likes, or whatever it is, like as long as you're being authentic to you, people will find you and they'll love you. And then you have loyal followers that way. Loyal people. It becomes more of a community rather than a fan base. And I like that. So yeah. And then also to document, and if you like are also trying to grow like your portfolio and stuff like that, posting very consistently. Consistency, or else like the algorithm doesn't like you at all. So yeah, those are my things.
And so like how often would you say you post currently? Because I know obviously with this studying and stuff probably takes up a lot of time, but how often do you still post?
I post probably I post every Monday a drum cover. Like everybody kind of expects it on Monday. Usually I do get Saturday and Sunday off, so that's nice. And so I'll usually record it that day. And sometimes I also post like throughout the week, like a Thursday or a Wednesday, sometimes a Friday. An extra, like if I had time to drum practice and record a cover, I'll do that, or whatever. Yeah, that's typically what I'll do. And then, yeah, that's about it. And then I just like update everybody on my stories as much as I can whenever I have something exciting going on. Or I just like, feel like talking that day. I just like, post random things sometimes. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. I like how like you take people along on your story. Obviously, when you did there was like you did a theme park thing recently. Was that what that was
Yeah, I went to
about?
Halloween
Yeah.
Horror Nights. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like that kind of format of taking people along on your stories. That obviously people can
Mm-hmm.
see it. See a little bit into your life behind the scenes of what your kind of life
Yeah.
is and things that you like, and it makes it very, as you said before, being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like, I'll try to treat my like I honestly like treat my followers like they're my best friends. Like I'll just like record my stories and I'll just talk to them like they're my friend. I don't have a lot of friends, and like the friends I do have are amazing, but I don't have a lot of them. So, I just like will post, and sometimes I'll just yap or whatever, and yeah, whenever I'm like doing stuff like a concert or a park or something like that, yeah, I try to like just bring people along, if you're bored and you want something to watch, you can watch My Chaotic Life kind of thing. Like, so yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Do you ever get recognized in public? Do people ever go, "Wait, aren't you Jada from Instagram?"
I've had a couple of people do that actually. It was kind of funny. I went to it wasn't Halloween Horror Nights last year. I went to it was like Sir Henry's, I think it was something like that. And then somebody recognized me there. I also have gone to like Universal Studios or something like that, and like I'll be on an escalator, and the people passing down, they like start pointing at me, and they're like talking, but they can't stop me because I'm on the opposite way, right? But I'll notice it, and like I've even had my mom. She'll like sometimes she falls behind, and she'll like notice it. She'll be like, those people recognized you, right? I'm like, did they really like actually? So yeah, they'll
Yeah.
start pointing at me and whispering to each other, and I'm like, oh my gosh, well, and I'm so open to it. Like, if you know me, say hi.
Yeah.
I'm just really a girl who posts a lot on social media. It's like what I call myself. People will like be like, oh, you're a celebrity, and I'm just like, I'm just a girl who posts a lot. I'm a very normal girl, like
Yeah.
um, and so I'm like, if you know me, say hi, and we could be friends. I don't care. Like I'm not weird about that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a nice thing about like also through my podcast, I've kind of realized that maybe people I've revered over the years, watched on YouTube and Instagram, and I mean, I've been watching your videos for I feel like many years, and so like having you on, or I had, for instance, like Mike Johnston on, who like I learned so much from over so many years.
Yeah.
There's exercises to this day that I sometimes still kind of pull out in my toolbox that I got from Mike Johnston from a YouTube video like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so to get people on that are kind of have a maybe certain status online, or you've revered them. It's so through this podcast I've kind of learned like people are just people, and they're chill. They're just like
Yeah.
down to earth. And I'm sure like when people recognize you, bump into you, and say hi, they're like, oh, yeah, Jada's just she's just nice, she's sweet. She's like a down to earth human being, and it
Yeah.
kind of
Thank you.
yeah, no, absolutely, like puts it into perspective, and you just learn that, especially drummers. Like I always say this, but drummers are like the coolest people. Drummers are,
Yeah.
they're drummers are always so down to earth. And
Hmm.
have you ever been to like any drum shows or NAM or anything like that?
I did go to NAM in 2020. I
Nice.
did, and it was really cool. And like, I didn't have that many followers at the time, so I went with my drum company, Outlaw Drums. Like they've literally like kind of been by my side since they came across me and stuff like that. Like they were really nice, and I was like way like smaller than at the time on social media. I got to meet some really awesome people. I got to meet Jared from Drumeo. I
Oh,
got to
sweet.
meet,
Yeah.
I got to meet Christina Shiano. That was
Right.
really
Right.
awesome. And
Nice.
Rock Angel, like Brooksy, she was amazing
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Got to meet my friend Alexa. Me and her have been like bet like friends for like a long time. Like, when it came to the drumming community and stuff, we kind of became friends and did that, and that was really awesome. Um, and then like I just so I went to Drumeo. Wow, I went to Nam, and stuff like that, and it was really cool. Other than that, I haven't gone to any conventions like that.
Yeah. I guess through something like that, yeah, you meet the people in person that you kind of have connected with over social media, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's always nice to hang out, especially as I
Oh,
say with drummers.
I can't believe I
It's
let this slip my mind. Another drummer I got to meet. It was really amazing. Was Jonathan Moffat, Michael Jackson's drummer. Yeah,
wow. Way to
I
meet him.
like. It was at Nam actually. It was like in the end. I remember being so exhausted, but I was like, no way. And he's like actually friends with Outlaw Drums, I guess. And I was like, what? Like he's here today? No way. And I got to meet his wife too, and she's also so sweet. And yeah, that was really really cool. That was
He's
really
so,
really cool.
he's so good. His
He's
foot,
insane.
obviously. I mean, that's why he's called Sugarfoot. But like his foot is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's so talented. It's insane. And he's also so kind, like such a nice person. And even though he was like the drummer for probably the most like famous artist of all time, he is so like humble and kind and just like, again, down to earth. It was just like you said, just a down to earth human being. So that's really cool. And his wife
Yeah.
too. I actually wanted a photo with his wife, and she was like taken aback because, like, I guess Jonathan, like, because he's so popular, like, a lot of people were like, let me get a photo with you. But I also, like, was like, she's so cool too. She was so sweet. And so I asked for a photo of her. She was like taken aback. I'm like, no, girl, you deserve so much respect. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And she was really sweet too. So, yeah, that was
Nice.
really cool.
Yeah.
And I also
Nice.
got to meet like so many other like drummers and musicians there. That was really awesome. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The atmosphere at NAM must be incredible. I always see the
Mm-hmm.
the Instagram posts of the stories, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
wish that I could go someday.
No. Yeah. I wish I could have gone this year. I almost did, but it didn't work out. So I was like, dang
Yeah.
it. It's cool.
But yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
nice.
hopefully next year.
Nice to be in that environment with all the musicians and
Yeah.
yeah, meeting so many people that, yeah, as you say, you're connected with, but then actually meeting them in person. It's I feel like
Mm-hmm.
through Instagram, through social media, like I mean, I've certainly made a lot of kind of friends in a way that like we support each other. We kind of every now and then is like, yeah, we write each other a message and we're like, hey, what's up? How's things been? And we kind of catch up, but it's people I've never actually met in person,
Yeah.
but just because we've connected through either the podcast or just being drummers or liking each other's stuff or whatever, yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like social media. People do kind of, some people see it more as toxic. Fair enough, there's a toxic side to it to a certain degree depending on what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the side of it that can be like super positive, and you can you know build a
Yeah.
community. And
It's how you use social media, honestly. Like if you are like doom scrolling at 3 a.m. and you're always watching depressing videos, you're always going to get depressing videos. Like your algorithm is tethered to you. Yeah, that's depressing. I've been down that rabbit hole. It sucks. Don't do that. My TikTok was so bad. It was like
yeah,
so depressing just because I like had just like, personal life got crazy, right? And so I'm like scrolling, I'm like crying, I'm like scrolling. Don't do that. Don't do that. And when you actually like, interact with positive things and you're interacting with like funny things and you're interacting with things that inspire you, that's what you're going to get in return. And also just utilizing social media as more of a way to document than just doom scroll, and that changes your perspective on social media a lot. I've met a lot of people who are like, yeah, I don't use social media because it's just like so toxic and I compare myself to everybody. And it's like, that's actually a problem with your mindset. You have to change
yeah,
your mindset. because, yeah, social media can be damaging. Like, I also like have had that. I've compared myself a lot to other people. A lot of girls on there are like, you have this vision of perfect in your head, and you just, but also perfect is in the eye of the beholder. Like, it's really up to, like, it's your view that you're, you know looking out, right? You're looking for those things that you see as perfect to compare yourself to, and that's just, you know that's something you got to stop, right? And then your perspective changes. So, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's, yeah, because it's interesting. You've mentioned mindset. Is that kind of something like, personal growth? I mean, I suppose on the drums, it seems like you have that anyway. We talked about, the more challenging, the better to grow in your drumming. But like with
Mm-hmm.
mindset stuff, are you someone who kind of, do you read a lot of kind of personal development books? Do you work out? What kind of stuff do you do for keeping a positive, good mindset? Because you seem like a really like positive, bubbly person. Like, really, you seem, really secure in yourself. And are you someone
Yeah.
who's about like personal growth? Is that something
um
you work on actively?
a few things. So, I'm a believer in fake it till you make it. Okay, so if you're not somebody who's positive, you pretend to be positive until you are. Okay, but also, like, I think, yeah. So I did, what one psychologist I always loved was Jordan Peterson. Like, he has a lot on like relationships and even like personal growth. And he, like, I know there's also like a very like complicated stance with him politically, right? But before all that went down too, like, I always like enjoyed him. I actually got his book. I have his book, and it's a lot about personal growth. Like, you live by his 12 rules for life, and you will definitely improve with each one. Also, truly, like, I I've always been Christian. Like, my family was Christian, but I kind of fell away from that when I was 11. And then, it took me a while to get back to like truly having faith. And even then, that was pretty damaged up until about, well, it was damaged till about 3 years ago. And then a year ago, I kind of fell away again, but not like because I didn't have faith, but I just was like, again, personal life, like, probably most, like, one of the worst things that happened to me. And then a year ago that happened, and then, honestly, I kind of started reading. Like, I like read parts of the Bible, but I didn't actually start reading the Bible. And so I started reading the Bible. I started actually like looking into that. And even if you're not per se religious, like, there's not a bad teaching that Jesus doesn't teach. And so I really liked one man, I forget his name, but one thing he said is like, even if you're not religious, if you live by Jesus's teachings, your life will better. And it really does affect your like personal growth. And so, like, it really changed mine. It changed my perspective. It still is. I'm still reading. The Bible is a big book, and it takes some time, but like, there's so many lessons in there that when you reflect it onto yourself, you can apply it to your life. And that's like, I'm Christian, so of course I believe that it's God sent, but even if you're not, it'll change your life, even if it doesn't change your faith. So I believe that really helped me too. Also, my parents are very positive people. So even when I was down in a rut and not very positive, my parents like also like reminded me of things, and they were always there for me. So I think, it's a few things. A few things contribute to that, but I'm not going to lie and say that I haven't been negative. I'm not going to lie and say that I haven't been like down in the rut, in the gutter of like, a lot's happened to me, and I'm like, I've been through it, but I'm not like, if you're taking life and just focusing on the negative, you'll always be negative. And I do that very badly. I'm very bad with that. I'm very negative sometimes. And so I've been journaling. I've been like reading the Bible. I've been trying to focus on more positive things in life, and it's really a muscle that you grow. So, yeah,
Amazing.
that's actually what I'm working on.
I gotta say, I mean, you say that you go through negative stuff, and obviously on the surface with social media and whatever, people maybe don't always see it, but
Yeah.
it's, I mean, you to me, from talking to you today, you seem like a very positive person, very bubbly. It's very, very enjoyable
Hmm.
talking to you. It's very,
Thank you. Yeah.
very, very easy. Like, yeah. So, like, kudos to you. I know that maybe necessarily we don't always see ourselves the way that other people do,
Hmm.
but I certainly don't. I certainly have my
Oh,
internal, doubts and imposter syndrome and anxiety and
everybody does.
stuff that people don't see. People maybe
Yeah.
will look at my social media or look at what I'm doing and be like, "Oh, Harry's doing such amazing things," and "Oh man, that's amazing! Kudos for this!"
Yeah.
But then on the inside, maybe in that moment, even though things seem positive, there's always this kind of fight, maybe with personal doubt.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I know that feeling too well myself. But yeah, as I
Yeah.
say, from my standpoint, you seem like a really positive person.
And you too, you seem so nice. Like you are such a nice person, and even the questions you ask, like they have intention behind it and like
Mm.
a meaning behind it. Like I like that. Like, you're not just asking about drums, you're also asking about the person. I like, it's different people. Like some people are shallow, and
Right.
I like people who are not that shallow. So
I appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Um
from the heart. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Genuine. It's genuine. I like genuine people. And yeah, like I try to be authentic on social media. Like when something bad happens to me, I try to talk about it. Sometimes, like, I also have that thing, like I don't want to bring people down with me, but and I think a lot of people feel that way on social media. It's just like, oh, you only want to show the happy parts because then people think you're happy. It's less like drama to bring. You don't want to be dramatic. You don't want to be a problem. But I also think that that is kind of creating this unrealistic idea that like everybody like on social media has this perfect life. I don't have a perfect life, you know, and it may come off that way sometimes, but it's not like, and like a lot of people do that on social media, and really their life isn't as like flowers and roses as it seems. And I try to be authentic, and I think that being authentic on social media is why I believe is very important too. It's not just believing that it's not believing the image that you know people are putting out there. So yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people appreciate that. People being their authentic selves, and also
Yeah,
sharing the bad stuff, because then people can go, oh wait, maybe I'm going through something, and
exactly, they're not
uh,
alone.
so and so who maybe seems so put together, everything seems perfect in their life. They struggle with this stuff too, and
Yeah,
then as you say, it's kind of it's kind of nice to know when you're struggling that you're not, because if obviously feels like something that you're carrying yourself. Sometimes there's moments where it's like, oh,
yeah,
why me or whatever. But then if you know that there's also other people that go through that as well, or have gone through it, or then it's reassuring to know you're not alone. It will get better, and you go through seasons in life where things aren't going so well, then you appreciate the good stuff so much more.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. You know, uh, I know like sometimes, like, yeah, when you're on social media, you feel alone, but you're really not. You're really not. So,
Yeah.
you know, that
Well,
goes for
Jada,
everybody.
yeah, it's been a real pleasure talking to you, and we're coming to the end of the episode. Is there anything at this point that you want to kind of shout out or plug? Anything you got coming up?
I honestly, at the moment, I just want to say thank you for having me on this podcast. It was such an awesome experience talking to you. You were so nice, and honestly, it was such a genuine podcast. I'll admit, like, sometimes I get nervous talking about me because I try not to talk about me a lot, but it was honestly like so easy and so like well done. And this is really cool what you got going, like
Thank you so
genuinely.
much. Oh, thank you.
And honestly, at the moment, I'm just doing me. I don't have many things coming up for my like drumming path at the moment. I'm a little bit restricted, or else I would be. But um, honestly, like just today. I'm excited for Halloween. I'm definitely excited for Halloween, and I'm going to be posting like a lot of Halloween stuff soon. So I'm super excited about that. But like, that's just, little hobby things I do. So yeah. Life has been slower for me, and I'm kind of liking that at the moment because it hasn't been. So yeah. But again, thank you for having me. This is awesome. And yeah, genuinely, like, it was awesome.
Yeah, Jayda, thank you so much. That's yeah. I wish you all the best with your studies, and I would ask what you're dressing up as for Halloween, but I don't necessarily want you to give away what you might be wearing in the video, because I'm guessing it's like, the element of surprise.
I'm going to be doing sneak peeks on my stories if
cool.
anybody is interested in that. But like, genuinely, it's just like little things. It's been slower, and I like that right now. So, but yeah, thank you again. And yeah. Also, fun fact about me too is I'm extremely awkward with like ending calls or podcasts or like saying bye. So yeah, just like gonna throw that out there. Okay. Fun fact about Jayda: she's super awkward sometimes.
No, it's fine. It's all good. Yeah, so sometimes ending a call or ending a podcast. I don't know. I guess usually the way I do it is I open the floor to like, is there anything you want to plug? And the person plugs it, and I say, thank you for taking the time. Which, at this point, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Jayda, hopefully we'll meet in person someday. I'm sure we'll bump into each other.
I would love that.
Somewhere. But yeah,
that would be very awesome.
So much for taking the time, Jayda.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, Harry. Thank you again.
Thank you.
See you.
Give me money.